Hello, I'm Saukki, and today I'm going to see this Alleveder Velomobile. My friend bought this Alleveder kit and built the Velomobile by himself. And Alleveder is this nice looking aluminium Velomobile, and actually this Quest is based on Alleveder, so. But anyway, let's go and see. And here it is, the brand new Alleveder Velomobile. My friend Tuomas bought this kit and then built it by himself. He said that it was quite challenging project and he wouldn't recommend this to any unexperienced builder. Most parts he could build by himself, but sometimes he needed some helping hands. And by the way, this is how the instructions looks like. Handwritten in Dutch. That's pretty difficult if you don't know Dutch. Luckily there are some videos in YouTube about building Alleveder. I guess those were pretty helpful. But anyway, now it's ready and it's looking pretty good. The body panels are 0.6mm thick aluminum. There are also some machined parts like this rear plate and rear fork. By the way, this is the rear suspension. I think it's some kind of rubber cushion. The front suspension is pretty standard Velomobile suspension, very much similar to my Quest. Front wheels are this kind of composite wheels. The rims can take only maximum of 5 bars pressure. The steering column has this clever locking thing which you can use to lock it to the top position like this. In the rear there is 9-speed derailleur gears and 3-speed Sturmey-Archer hub gear. You can lift the seat up just like in my Quest, and there is a lot of luggage space behind the seat. And Tuomas made this nice little visor, looking pretty good. But okay, time to go for a test ride. I ride the Alleveder and Tuomas is taking my Quest for a spin. First there is this piece of gravel road, and right away I notice how much more comfortable the Alleveder is compared to my Quest. I have tuned my Quest to be fast and low. I have the short and stiff springs in the front suspension. But this Alleveder has the standard spring setup, so it's much more soft and comfortable. And the rear suspension with the rubber cushion feels very nice and comfortable. Another thing I noticed right away was the amazing turning radius of the Alleveder. With open wheel arches this has much smaller turning radius than my Quest. And actually here Tuomas is just learning how poor the Quest is when you need to make sharp turns. The ride is nice and the seat feels very comfortable. The seat has actually this lip going upwards at the front part, so it's a little bit different than the seat in my Quest. And by the way, this seat is made out of some kind of plastic composite material. And the pedals are actually about 1 cm too far for me, so I kind of have to sit on that lip. The cockpit is wide open and there is a lot of room. The controls are basically the same than in the Quest. But anyway, we decided to make this little loop around the village. One other thing I noticed is that this elevator is much slower than my Quest. I had problems trying to keep up with my own bike. The drivetrain feels quite stiff. I don't know what's going on, but it feels quite heavy. There is some extra friction coming from somewhere. I don't know if the problem is with the chain line, because there's a lot of the chain tube and there is total of 3 idlers. 1 on the power side and 2 on the return side. Maybe it gets better if some of these are removed. I don't know. Or it may be the internal gear hub which is causing extra friction. But anyway, this elevator feels nice and comfortable velo. I think this suits better into city riding than my Quest because this has much smaller turning radius and much more ground clearance. But there is still some problem solving to do with the drivetrain until this can be a great long distance bike. Tuomas has built also this trike. Of course I had to take this for a spin as well. This is his own design. It's quite interesting that this drivetrain feels much more lighter than the elevator drivetrain, even though this one has even more idlers. Again, I'm about 1 centimeter too short for this trike, so I have to sit little bit front on the seat. The handlebar is below the seat and it seems to be possible to ride this one-handed. At the moment this has only one working brake at the rear wheel. This trike actually works pretty well. I just noticed that when riding with high speed I could feel some wobble in the front wheels, but that could be something I could have counteracted if I was steering with both hands. There is this one thing I don't understand. I have been riding with recompense over 5 years now, but still I haven't learned this one lesson. Don't ride with your pockets open. Why haven't I learned that? Okay, so it was pretty nice to test ride the elevator and also the trike he has made by himself. For some reason the drivetrain of the elevator was very stiff. It was much harder to pedal than this Quest. I am not sure what's wrong with it, but maybe if there's some elevator rider watching, if you have some idea how to make the drivetrain better, just write your comments below the video. But anyway, I think that's all for today. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already, and also click that bell icon so you can get notification every time I post a new video. And please visit my web shop and buy something so you can support my channel. But okay, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.